Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle for another match preview on the channel. MK Dons versus Leicester City, as people like to call MK Dons, the franchise club. Leicester head to the Stadium MK this weekend for League One action, and hopefully things get a lot better for Leicester in the league. The Russell Martin derby, Russell Martin takes on his former club this weekend. Will it be a happy return for Russell Martin? Who knows? Dan, how are we?
Not too bad, thanks, Jack. How are you?
I'm all right, mate.
As we head into the weekend. Bank holiday weekend.
It is bank holiday weekend. And hopefully we'll have something to cheer about, Dan. 6,000 Leicester fans, I think, are going. Well, 5,800 odd, but we'll round it up. It's fine.
And also, what's happening Sunday?
Right, so Sunday, we've got a football match. It's called More Than 90 Minutes, a charity match where we'll be playing at Newport Pagnell Town Football Club. Yeah. Me, Dan, Steve, Eli will all be heading down to Newport Pagnell in the raise money for mental health and probably make ourselves look a bit daft on a football pitch. It's been a while since we've played in the game rather than watching it. So, there we go. We'll be raising money for mental health at the weekend and looking forward to doing that, but getting Leicester, of course, out of the way first.
You've got a link to put in there, Jack, for it, just so if anybody is out there that struggled like that in the past or anything, there's I know the guys are sorting out help and stuff like that. Or even if you could be kind enough to donate.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the chat throughout the show. I just need to find it.
If not, if Eli can send you one.
Yeah, if you put a message to him in the chat and tag him, then he might be able to send it me. Right, let's say hello to the chat. Evening, Ray. How are we, mate? The good news is that I think Martin is realising that these 3 relegation players are all rubbish and we can't improve until they're all gone. Yes, I'm going to actually ask Dan about that in a minute, actually, because we've got a new player in who I want to discuss with Dan, a new defender. Ronald McDonald, how are we? Greetings, Tez. Greetings, Kyle. Greetings, Daz. How are we? This is a banger of a shirt. Do you know what? It's one of probably my favourite Leicester shirts, to be fair. I know Dan's got it as well.
I've got the original.
Dan has got the original. Mr. Fox, how are we? Another club just up the road. It is another club up the road. I think they're 25 years old. Milton Keynes.
Something like that. Babies in footballing terms.
They're babbies, aren't they? Are you putting the boots on, Jack? Yes, I am. I am putting the boots on. You'll probably see me play like Jordan, are you, or something like that. I'll tumble over. Watching Leicester is bad for your health, lads. Is it really? I mean, we had you lot panicking in midweek, Rich, to be fair. We had you sweating a little bit when we scored the equaliser, which we're going to actually discuss the Ipswich game in a minute, actually. Hello, Steve. How are we? You're right, Jack. You're going MK Dons because I am. Russell Martin needs to go. Oh, that's a bit of an early shout regarding Russell Martin.
Yeah, it's way too early. As you well know, not Jack and I's first choice for manager, but when he's coming in and he's got a hell of a challenge in turning this side round, as in just the player rotation round, getting rid of a lot out of the door. You've got to remember, a lot of these players, we're struggling to find clubs for them because they're just not that great. They might have a different, no doubt, like players have in the past, will go off and flourish at other clubs. JJ springs to mind, going to Leeds and playing exceptionally well now for them when he struggled. No doubt a few will do that. But I think it's just because it's just all a bit tired, the whole thing. So he's had a hell of a job to turn this squad around, get fresh blood in there, new faces, fresh ideas.
Yep.
Hopefully, if we're still talking about it like this by the end of September, then yeah, I'm with those that are saying, it's time to go. But at the beginning, or almost at the beginning, or but a couple of days, I think we've got to give him time to turn this squad around and get playing. He's not. If you look at his managerial career, he's not the fastest of starters. I think that's because of getting the right message across and getting the players in that he needs. I think once he does, he goes on some decent runs, and if we can do that, then we'll be all right. It's a long season in these leagues. That's the thing. Plenty of games, plenty of time to turn it round. And Tuesday for me was a nothing game anyway.
It was a nothing game. It was just about the performance as a whole. If we could perform better and all that, giving the lads a chance who haven't really had the opportunity to do so. And I think that they performed well. There were players that really impressed. But I do think, though, Russell Martin had a massive job on his hands to start off with, bringing in his own players, getting rid of the old guard, and still got a few of them to get rid of for sure. But I think, to be fair, I think the team will start to settle as soon as the transfer window shut and he's got the players in that he wants at the football club, and then players out that he also wants to get rid of, like your Suitors, your Rakolis, the Hamza's going to be going as well, isn't he? So there's a lot that needs to be done. I think we're going to be busy over the next, five or so days to get the business in that we need to. He knows that we need attacking options, defensive options. So, in
all honesty, Jack, from what's been turned out so far, we need quality in all three departments. Goalkeeper is still very undecided. Jakob, was all right on Tuesday night. He was 100% better than what he's gone out of my head now. Keeper.
It was better than what Alex McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy. He was a lot. That's how he's traumatised me. I've actually erased his name from my memory. But yeah, McCarthy. He is awful. He's possibly. And I know we've had Danny Ward and we've had some other honkers, but I think at the minute he is possibly the worst keeper I've seen in a Leicester shirt. Certainly for some time, that's for sure.
I don't think he's that good, to be fair myself.
Well, he can't do anything. He ain't great at shot stopping. He ain't great at his box awareness. He doesn't claim anything, so he's not commanding.
Too old.
And he's awful with his feet. He panics. That's why he hangs on so long to it, because he can't kick it. Mm. And he just puts us under so much pressure, because now the back four already don't trust him. So they don't want to pass back to him. And it just puts us in a right muddle from the off. And it's just no good. Absolutely no good whatsoever. Whereas, like I say, okay, Jakob has his issues, but Tuesday night there was a couple of spells there where he'd actually improved a lot with his feet, and he'd improved a lot with his distribution. I mean, as in the pace he was letting it go with. That was my biggest issue with him. There was a couple of others, but my main one was that he released the ball so slowly. When we had rapid wingers and people who could deal with a ball, like a JJ in midfield, like Abdul, and he'd refused to launch the ball to him. He refused to roll it out to him because he was clinging on and so slow. And sides would get back in and set, and it made it harder for us to then break him down, because he just had this one thought of, I can only roll it to one of the centre halves, whether it be Fass or or Vestergaard or a Coley. Well, I mean, I don't know why you would want to roll it to him anyway, but whether it was to any of them, and yeah, it just slowed us down. Whereas, as I say, that side of his game Tuesday, he was a lot better at.
It was. Tuesday, I thought we played a lot better.
We're a lot quicker. We're a lot quicker.
McFarlane looked like a unit. Wayo Koulibaly had a good game, to be fair. Sammy Braybrook, Louis Page was good. When you take them people who were the problem out of the scenario and you put players in who actually want to give a lot to the team, like your Braybrooks, your Pages, Harry Howe, Tommy Watson. Who else did we have in the team? Connor Chaplin, who it was good to see him start his first Leicester game in all competition on Tuesday night. Bristrich are okay, still getting time to develop really in the team. It's taking him a bit of time to get going, but then you also need another striker to come in who's going to be a proven goal scorer, and that's something I hope we can do. But no, it wasn't about the performance. It was about the performance, but the result itself. I mean, we made our own mistakes and we got punished. It was simple. Is that Nunes goal? I don't think we could have done much about that, to be fair. Stolarczyk got lobbed. He doesn't have Fatal on us, to be fair. And,
almost, not quite as far, but yeah, almost.
Yeah. But no, it's something to build on. It gives Russell Martin a chance to maybe consider others rather than the players that are so-called the ones that he's trusted so far. Managed to get a ticket for Saturday. Going to be a rarity this season for me watching City away. Fair enough. What positions are you playing Sunday? Hope you're doing a vlog. Well, they'll be live on the More Than 90 TikTok page where he'll be videoing the whole game. You might see a few tumbles and all that. I have put the link in the chat regarding the GoFundMe. So fund whatever you can. It'd be appreciated.
Certainly.
Every little matters. So if you can go and do that, then that'd be good. Jack, you think they'll win? Of course I do, mate. Of course I think we'll win at the weekend. Page has to start. Howe is a talent. Just needs to up his fitness. Hamza close to Derby move. Yeah, it's a permanent. Yeah, it's a permanent deal. I don't know how much it is though, in respect, but not confident.
Same as Suits to
Wrexham.
We don't know how much that is either, do we?
If we get £7 million, I'll take it. Saw Russell Martin cash converters today. He's got banging Flemo out the front window. Guy's a dealer. Fantastic. It's nice to see Russell Martin in cash converters, swapping tactics, as always, known to use someone's lawnmower. Evening, lads, 3 games in and we're already at a big game situation as we really need to win. This is it though, isn't it, Dan? We're at this scenario where every game matters. It's not just this game, but this one brings a little more pressure because of the way we've started the season so far.
Yeah, admittedly, yes. It's not. I wouldn't call it a big game, but I understand where people are coming from with it. As I say, it's 3 games in out of what would be 46 games. So there is plenty of time to turn it around. As I say, if we're still like this come September and we're on, 8-9 points, something like that, then yeah. Straight grey goose even. Can't get my words out. Straight grey goose. I'm not messing about. Straight in there.
Straight into that. No messing about. You'll get more straight chat from him.
That's why I'm struggling to get my words out there.
That's why it is. Aluko has to start over a Kohler and Suter. Yeah, I agree. Suter and a Kohler, it's a no-go. Get them both gone, is what I say regarding that one. Miami Vice, we are going to
just worry about that. If the new man does come in, Jack, that you're then talking about 2 young centre halves, and again, I know that it's not ideal, and I don't particularly look at Okoli, because it's highly unlikely that Suter's going to play. So it's one of them of where do we go?
Okoli's apparently injured. I don't believe that for a second. I think this Serie A business ahead of the transfer deadline day. We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, he had this mysterious injury at the end of last season, didn't he? Him and Nelson, because I think they thought they were going.
Probably had a bust up, the pair of them. You're not gonna like who's getting the better move. So they all got the boxing gloves out. Whoever one gets the better move in the end.
Hey, you never know. It might be a return of the Fass.
Well, from what I heard about Wout Fass on Tuesday night from someone I was talking to was he's very much going. I don't think he's going to feature at all now. But then again, if he is here though, if he is here by the transfer window deadline and he doesn't leave the football club in the end,
we had this last time with him. He was going to Turkey. All these Turkish clubs were coming in for him. Nobody came in. And then eventually he ends up going on loan to Marseille. And then they've sent him back and shown no interest.
Oh, you mean Monaco?
Yeah, Monaco even. Yeah.
Probably might as well have sent him to Marseille. They might have, and it might have helped us out. Cheers for the jobs there, Ross. Right, Dan, let's get into... I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask you about Alari Kingasniemi, the new centre-half. What's your thoughts on the 19-year-old Dan? Highly rated. He is regarded the next Sami Appiah. Let's not do it too quickly. Let's not boast about him.
No, that's it. Exactly. Let's not blow him up before he's even started.
What's your thoughts on the new signing?
I like it in the fact of that we are potentially going back to a little bit of the old Leicester buying style of getting in young, talented players from elsewhere that are a little bit unknown at. And from what we've seen of him, and again, I know it is all highlights from YouTube and stuff like that, but he looks like he's a bit of the real deal about him. And even then, even when you speak to people out there that he's played in the league there, and even the Danish sides that they've played in Europe have all said that we are extremely fortunate to have been able to get him in. And
European clubs were looking at him.
They were expecting him to go to a lot higher division or through the pyramid than us at the minute. I mean, because like I say, I'm not going to say a lot bigger club because we are a big club. We're just in a shit league. And, you know, as we spoke about many times, rightly or wrongly, we shouldn't really be here. So the fact that we've been able to get him in over clubs that are playing even in the Conference League and things like that, and we might mock it in this country, but in others it's a big deal. So and a big draw, you know, to play in any sort of Europe, because again, it's an opportunity for these lads to get themselves scouted and picked up by a bigger club. So, but yeah, he looks like he's got decent pace. Obviously, he's a decent size at 6'6".
Yeah.
But he's looked like a Vestergaard that looks like he's running in treacle every time he sets off. You know, the videos that we've seen of him, he's pretty rapid for the size of him, and he's also got decent feet with it. You know, he is someone that we've been looking for in that role of being able to bring the ball out, beat that first striker, open play up, and has an array of passes. It's not just a straight 5-yard to whomever the holding midfielder is, whether it obviously been skipped the last few games, but whomever it may be Saturday, as we said, potentially Page. He played, you know, pretty well in there and was quite exciting because, again, he always wanted to drive forwards. And as fans, that's what we want to see, especially from some of the tosh we've seen over the last few seasons. But yeah, he looks like a bit of the real deal, and hopefully, you know, yes, he's tied down to a long contract, but we can make the most of him and progress through the leagues with, or him progress through the leagues with us, as opposed to being whisked off somewhere else. But yeah, all looks positive.
A 5-year contract,
Mm.
big development still. He
course,
was,
yeah.
it was in the youth development at Inter Milan.
Yeah.
You've got to be good enough if you go in there, aren't you? To be fair,
Yeah, exactly.
played in Europe competition, whether it's qualifying or whatever, it still counts. When I look at his play though, it looks like an older head on younger shoulders.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and I think, to be fair, this lad's got something about him. He can come out from the back with the ball. He's confident on the ball. He's a commanding defender. He's quite strong in the air. He can play the lines as well. I know we've seen Wout Fass, who's, you look at Fass, you look at the criticism on him, but he can play out with the ball. He did it under Enzo. He's the only player at the club, apart from Kingasti Amy, who can play that way. So I physically look at this lad. I think he's a player that will have some big sell-on value at some point in the future. But we've just got to give him time to bed in and show what he's about. But the big question is, from what Jay says, who goes in next to the new fella? Akoli isn't a role model. Well, he'll be gone anyway, so don't worry about that, Jamie. Sue to be gone as well, so let's not worry about him. Fast is fast. Do we need another Lascelles perfect but gone? I do think we're going in for an experienced player next to him, is what Russell Martin alluded to, a young player and an older player. I don't know who the older. I don't want Craig Dawson.
No, absolutely not. No, we don't want that old. But like I say, like a Lascelles, yes.
Need experience, but not too old.
Whether we can get him to the club or not is a different matter. My only two concerns about him with coming in, he didn't really do enough whilst he was here, and when he did play, he was also injured more than he played.
Yeah.
But
off the pitch,
it's a new, and he probably cost us too much or rather, he'll probably be wanting too much in wages. But then at the same time, he's still without a club for a reason, potentially.
Well, this is it,
and that's the other thing. Because he's got no club, if he continues without no contract, you can still sign him after the window's closed because he's a free agent. You can still sign free agents. It's not, you just can't transfer between clubs. So yeah.
He did say he wanted to maybe make some permanent signings, like money wise. He did allude to that.
Yeah.
That he wants to spend. How much we're going to spend? Probably little compared to what people think we're going to spend. There was one that
people think that we're skint and can't afford anything. Well, we've just paid $1.5 million for the young lad.
Well, £2 million is the transfer
euros
in the end.
€2 million.
It's quite significant, Leicester, that we're not spending big, but we're getting in the right profile of player in quality. Liam Cullen, I still question him at this minute in time. He's not impressed me at all. Alex McCarthy should be nowhere near the number one spot. But whoever he realistically got who's good enough. I would even say Jakob's better than McCarthy, to be fair, at this point, from what I watched on Tuesday. I'd rather Jakob in goal than McCarthy. But there's all that. Then you've got that bloke who's got the name who sounds like pasta. I forgot what his bloody name is now. Rabizzoli, that's it.
No.
He's
I have no idea what we have signed him for, other than to warm up the keepers. Honestly,
it's
the 3 games I watched back when he played for Blackpool were horrific, and even Blackpool supporters were going, I don't get it. I don't get why. They're like, thank God for that. We've got rid of him.
I agree, Robert.
They were worried about him sitting on the books and running down a contract, taking money out of the club that they ain't got. And we've gone, thank you very much, come to us and probably paying him more money.
Yeah, I agree, Dan. His injuries is an issue, didn't factor. I think he's on about what's his
name?
Sorry, I'm late. Was just watching the GTA extended trailer. Are you into that? Are you, Mark? You into the old GTA gaming and all that, mate? Just another shirt filled, building a squad. We do need to build the team. This is where I say we'll settle after the transfer window. When we've got the squad and nobody can move on after that, and we've got rid of all like the Mavridis and everybody else out of the club, and we've brought in fresh new faces who want to fight for the shirt, we'll be a lot better performance-wise. I think we'll be a bit more stronger as a unit going forward. But we'll see. We'll see. Still a lot of work to do.
Of course, yeah.
Talking
we knew this. We knew this, and it was always going to be an issue, and it was always going to be. Look, I hope that people understand or think that we weren't being totally serious about the smashing this league, HMS pissed the league and stuff like that. Because we know what Leicester's like. Look, I still believe that we are going to win this league. I'm not moving on that side of things, but will we win it as convincingly as as we were joking about at the beginning? No. But as I say, come end of September, when the squad settles down, Russell's got the players in that he needs, and we know where we're going. I believe the players that he's bringing in so far are going to be a good group, and they've not got this old Leicester mentality in where we can basically do what we want, and we'll keep working at it, and it will get right eventually. It might be painful at the beginning, just while things sort themselves out and things settles down. And again, as we've said before, and this is the one bit that we do have to be serious about, is that for a lot of these clubs, no matter what we think about our ground and everything else like that, it is going to be like a day out at Wembley for these boys. They're never going to play in a stadium as big as this unless they get a rare FA Cup draw.
MK Dons is big. MK Dons is a big stadium in Hillsborough, by the way. There's a few.
MK Dons is empty. They only open the bottom tier. They've never had so much away support.
I think their last biggest crowd were against Chelsea in an FA Cup match once.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but there you go, Jack. 3/4 of them were Chelsea fans. They weren't MK fans, were they?
I think it's always difficult, because when they first moved to Milton Keynes 25 years ago, when Winkleman had them, which I'm not going to mention our Wimbledon scenario because we're not going to get into the old debacle on that one. There's a lot of ins and outs regarding that. We're not really as inquested into that type of scenario, but I physically think, they needed a football club. Of course they did, but then you're looking at the fan base is probably not as big as others. And a stadium of that size probably should not have been what it is. It's probably good for concerts and that and everything else.
Yes.
And it's good that quite a few thousand fans are going week in, week out to watch them at the stadium, but they're not a side who's going to fill that stadium out a lot. It's going to, if you're playing, if they got in the Champions League at one point, probably, but not. They're not there. They're in League One, and that's no disrespect to Milton Keynes at all. But when we went there in the Cup that year, 2022, there wasn't much there but they've sold. I think it's 11,000. Is it 9,000 at the weekend? 15,000's been sold. 15,000.
This weekend.
That's including away fans, yeah. So.
Yeah, but that's it. We're nearly
4,000 to Leicester's 5.8.
I thought we'd got nearly 6,500 tickets we've sold.
Yeah, 5,800 we've sold. Hey up for sub, how are we, fella? Hope you're good. Anyone remember MK Dons Fan TV? I don't, mate. I physically do not know who they are.
No. Which, when you think about it, with the position and the situation that we're currently in, with only having a point, Jack, that we're taking almost 6,000 fans to an away game. Yeah, okay, it's up the road and all the rest of it, but that's quite impressive in a League One situation.
It is. Dan, one player that did get linked to Leicester today, Stockport County playmaker Jack Diamond.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on him? I mean,
Uh,
he's 4 players, and they're saying that even though he's got a year left on his contract at Stockport, he's a player that they obviously want to keep. Or if an offer comes in of a decent amount, I know Luton got turned down in January of about £1 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sort of
That's it. And then obviously he's got, but he's got less time in his contract now, so it's a case of you probably will get him for £1 million.
Yeah.
Because they'll, unlike what we've done in past seasons, they'll want him out the door and get some money for him. They ain't going to get anything big wise with having a year left, because he'll go, well, I've got 6 months, and then I can go and sign for anybody anyway. So, and then you'll get nothing. So sometimes, especially, all right, I know Stockport aren't exactly scraping the barrel for money. They're not bad. They've got decent funding for a League One side. So then, they may not be so desperate to sell. But either way, no club really wants to watch their talent go out the door on a free, when even if it is £1 million and they think that you're taking the mick, it's better than, like I say, it's better than getting nothing at all. And as well, we were looking at the lads from Barnsley as well, weren't we?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name now. Give me a second. Let me find him. Patrick Kelly, CDM. Yeah. He can play CDM. He can play all over midfield, really. But he's more of a progressive player who can do quite well on the ball. He's one of Barnsley's young talents. He's one of the highly rated young talents in League One, by the way. So.
Which again, with the lad from Stockport and now this one, plus the centre half that's coming in, it's an age group that is in a market that we should be looking at, especially whilst we're in this division. And if they've got that quality to go and play higher, especially in the settings that we can provide for them as well, then they're only going to improve and they're only going to get better, and that then again benefits us, and that's what it's all about.
Right then, let's get on to MK Dons Leicester. So I'll tell you what, we'll look at the opposition before we get on to foot in both camps and discuss Leicester in more detail. So Paul Warne's their manager, former Rotherham United. They won promotion last season to League One. They've had a very good transfer window. Someone's put them down as the dark horses this season to finish a lot higher. Callum Patterson scored 16 goals from last season. And they've done quite well so far. They sit 14th.
Well, they've had 2 draws, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got 1 more point better than we have so far. The son Ryan Wintle. So he's another player that Leicester obviously looked at this window. We got linked with. I don't know if we.
Well, I was going to say I don't think we did. I just think that was he was looking for a club. He wanted out of Cardiff for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Probably didn't think he was going to get much game time. I don't know.
Good player.
He's a reasonable player. I wouldn't say good player. He's a reasonable player. Hence why, I'm not being funny and I don't want to sound disrespectful, but that's why he's at MK Dons now, as opposed to being at Cardiff. And again, like I say, was we really interested in him, or was it an agent just tagging our name along with it to get other people interested and going, oh well, if they're looking at him, he must be decent. We'll look at him and get him in. So we see what we beat him to it, and we weren't really. I think from what our transfer stuff has gone so far, with the exception of Chaplin, we've not really known many of them. All of them have come out of the blue. Watson, the centre half, the centre forward. We only really knew because
Harry Howe, Brighton.
Yeah, but we only really knew about the striker because of Fosshub being out in that area, and he comes from his
and he knows a lot about
village or town, city, whatever it is, that he got wind of it, and because it was on their local radio. nobody knew anything about it this side, and then the next thing it was almost done. His brother's contacting the likes of yourself and Locks and one or two others, and then then that's it. Like I say, so far, other than the Connor Chaplin one, even McCarthy and Burns come out the blue. It was literally, oh right, okay, where did that come from? The other goal, Rabzanelli, or however it is that you pronounce it, again. And Leicester have been prone to doing that sort of thing in the past.
Yep.
And some of them have worked out extremely well, and some not so much. But what we're looking at doing is a little bit different, or a little bit back to basics of what we've done in the past, and hopefully, more than not, they work out this time.
What happens with score predictions with Rich? Basically, me, Steve, and Rich decided this season that because Ipswich had gone up to the Premier and Leicester went down to League One, it wasn't really worth doing. Where we all meeting up for a beer before the game, Jack? Frank, you're a Leicester fan, by the way. Are you an Ipswich fan? I'm lost. Sorry, I know you mentioned Rich, but no. Let me know in the comments, by the way. Lose on Saturday, Martin's already under pressure anyway. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't faze him. He knows what the job is here and how the job he needs to do and the targets he needs to achieve. That's him as a manager. He knows how much the fans didn't want him and the targets that
I was going to say
and all that. So he knows he's under pressure. I don't think he can be any more under pressure than he already is.
Yeah. Well, look. Okay. Let's just put that straight for a start. He'll be under pressure from fans, but he won't be under pressure from the board. Not this early on. Not this early on into a project. We are not realistic as supporters. We are as fickle as anything. And yes, we're tired of losing. That's the biggest thing. You know, like our last home win was against Bristol City. Back in, what was that, in January, February, something like that. You know.
That was when you quoted that famous quote, clean sheets tonight, Dan.
Yes, mate, it was.
That went far, didn't it?
Well, yeah. Exactly.
Didn't enjoy many clean sheets after that, did we, Dan?
Yeah. That lasted long. We're all having showers because it's clean sheets tonight. And, that lasted all of a game. But, you know, that's it. But there we go. That's exactly my point of where we are as fans.
Yeah.
You know, we thought we
were back, mate.
We thought we were going to, that was going to kickstart us and we were going to go on a little roll and drag ourselves out of the pit that we were in. But no, it lasted all of the next game. We got beat up. But yeah, and that's where we're at as supporters. So yeah, we'll be on the case. But I don't think the club will. Not this early on into a project of what they want. It is an extremely high turnover of playing staff and off the field staff. And there's a lot of dust to settle. As I say again, you know, if we're looking like this come the end of September,
then I'll be worried.
October, then he'll be skating on very, very thin ice. But not.
Right now,
not after 3 games.
Settling down.
Certainly not after 3 games.
Let's judge him after the transfer window, and if we're in the same position then at the end of September or October, then we can say, yeah, but you've had your transfer window and all your players that you've had.
Yeah.
Suter is going rest with you. I will.
I have just seen 2 different stories for it. What somebody's just said that the deal's done, £9 million, and then somebody else said about 30 seconds after it, deal's done, £8 million. So who knows?
He's not being negative, Frank. I just think he's just probably stating the obvious. I thought it is. I think
why have I been negative?
I think he's on about Russell Martin. Oh, but we can't keep sacking managers.
That's exactly what I just said.
Dan's not in that camp of sacking Russell Martin. He's just saying that a comment alluded to earlier on, Frank. I don't know how long you've been watching. There was a comment earlier saying Russell Martin out, and then Dan's alluding to it now to saying you can't be doing that now. You've got to give it time to do everything and then judge after that. Right now, I don't bloody know. My headspace is a bit. Talking about Paul Warne though, Dan. Give him 3 months. That's it. Just give him a bit of time. You know, every manager needs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, if we're in this situation come the end of September, then you know, fans will be really ramped up.
Oh, it's just tuned in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the fans will be really ramped up. As I say, if it gets to sort of November time, then yeah, he'll be skating on thin ice. If we've come away and we're only on, in November, we're only on like 15 points, something like that. He'll be, and again, we've not improved. He'll be on very, very thin ice. I don't see the club getting rid of him because, as I say, you know, they've set out a stall, they've got a project. Yes, all of us want us to get out of this division as quickly as possible.
Hey up, John. Nice to see you wanting yourself out of the club, mate. Always good to see you. When a new owner comes in, you might be well out the exit door. Luke, I've sensed about a little strong. Yeah. Paul Warne, though. I know we know Russell Martin likes to play tactical in possession-based, Dan. Paul Warne's physical intensity and high press, he builds a team around elite fitness. So they've got a lot of fitness about them, MK Dons. Aggressive press to win the ball high up and force mistakes. That's how Burton played against Leicester last weekend. So
it's how every side will play against us because of how we want to play. But you know, it's up to us to come up with something to be able to nullify that. That's all well and good. And again, this is where sometimes where Russell's got to change things slightly when things are on top of you and you're being like we were against Notts County, like we were in midweek against Ipswich, like we were against Burton, like we were a little bit against Northampton in the cup before. You know, they know how he wants to do it. So you have to alleviate that and you have to earn the right to play like that.
Yep.
And you have to be a little bit more direct at times and beat the press that way. You know, there's multiple ways of beating a press. You don't just have to try and pass your way out of it. And then once you've done that and you've got a back four turning against facing their own goal a lot more often, they'll sit off because they'll go, all right, they ain't doing that then. And then you can go back to playing for a bit. And then if they come and press you again, like I say, it's just a bit of a chess game. And we need to have a little bit more versatility about us. And I know we've said that for many seasons. And these managers don't seem to want to change it too much. But he's certainly going to have to come up with something because, as I say, we can't keep coming unstuck by having the life squeezed out of us by bang average sides. Because of what we're trying to do and going, just stick with it. Say again, you have to buy these moments within games, and we ain't in a position to do that right now.
Yep. Guys at Lightburn, 81 of you watching. We'll set the match preview at 70 likes, so if you can all smash it, I don't know how many are on at the minute. If you can subscribe, great. Appreciated. True to his quote ahead of the League One clashes, Paul Ward, he has said neither of us are going to sit behind the ball. He favours an adventurous approach that quickly transitions into wide areas. So the system that he heavily utilises in wide players like Sam Silvera and attacking left back Cohen Bramall to stretch defences and whip crosses in. Defensive solidarity. Yeah. Charlie Good is focus on aerial dominance in box defending to withstand the step up in quality. So he's a more adventurous manager. He's very much like, get at your opponent and then we'll defend after if we need to. So I think that'd leave MK Dons open if Leicester can hit them on the counter attack a lot more and pass around them, something that might give us a bit more of a game. Light targets 70, Frank, mate. If a new owner won't take the debt on that, does that mean? Dan, what's your thoughts on that, actually? Before we move a bit more on to footing both camps and that, in the last time we visited MK in the league, how do you sort of see it regarding the sale? Because now he's saying that, well, Ben Jacobs said they've got a deadline now to meet. These bidders got to put their offers in by Monday the 14th of September.
Yeah.
To buy the football club. That is it. Neil Lau. He's got his consortium together. He's one of the groups that have been in talks with Leicester to buy the club. Leicester believe they're valued at over 200 million. That's not taking into consideration any of the factors, the debt that's Leicester. What's your thoughts on it, Dan, realistically now? Because I think he's now looking at a very quick sale here. I think he's just wanting to get rid of it as quick as he can so he can move on and bring someone good enough in.
Yeah, well, that's the issue that he's going to have, is that people know that he's keen to sell. I'm not going to say desperate or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's keen to sell, and when you've advertised that you're keen to sell, then people think they're going to get a deal out of you. So it's a difficult one to say because of this situation. You can't demand stuff when you're keen to sell. That's the trouble that he's going to find himself in.
The new owners will only want to pay what they feel.
Yeah, that's it.
The assets.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we've discussed before, I find it a little bit of an odd time to be going so hard to sell us.
Yeah.
I understand it to a point because of everything that he's gone through and stuff like that, but you would have thought a better option for him would have been to reduce the debt, not clear it, but reduce the debt, get us back into the Championship, and then look to sell it, because it then becomes a better proposition. You know, you're only one league off of getting back into the Premier League, and probably having to invest a little bit into the playing squad to do it. Especially with 8 sides then being in the playoffs. You know, even an average mid-table side can end up in the playoffs now. So, and then you never know from there. That's always the issue with the playoffs. That's why some people love it and some people hate it. Especially if you finish third and you miss out, and this team that finishes 6th goes up. You know, that's, or 8th, as it may well be in this season's competition. So
we'll be in the Championship, not in League One.
Yeah, I know that. But that's what I'm saying about with going up to the Premier League. And with top selling it when we're in the Championship, it's more. It has more appeal to it than what it does in League One, because you've got then 2 divisions to get out of. So it's a difficult one. As I say, I'm not particularly clued up on selling football clubs. We've never having to have anything to do with it whatsoever. I know roughly about funding and stuff like that of football clubs and what you get with it, but I think, as I say, just in life, if you're trying to sell your car and you're keen to get rid of it because you've already got your eye on a new one, you know, you're not likely to be looking to. You're always looking to get the most money out from it, but sometimes you're going to have to have compromises, is the word I'm looking for, to get out.
I'm not letting her out while it's thundering, Big Frank. I definitely ain't doing that. Yeah. Anyway, right. So the last 3 meetings between these two sides, they've only met 3 times in all competition. Leicester have won twice, and drew once to Milton Keynes. Obviously, last time we visited them in the Cup, which were 2019, Let's have a look. So last time we played them in the FL Cup, we're 3-0 in 2022. Then we've obviously played him in the league at home in 2008, 2-0. Matty Fryer scored that day, by the way. And then the last visit to Milton Keynes in the league, Max Gradle did this in a 2-2 draw late on.
2-1. It'll be Gradle. Right foot in, it's there! Max Gradle has salvaged the point for Leicester in the 96th minute. Oh my goodness gracious me, that is a free kick right out of the top draw, top corner, different class from Max Gradle.
Stringer got a bit overexcited there, didn't he?
And that was 8,000.
It wasn't that good.
8,000 Leicester fans in the away end that day. Someone was telling me earlier on when I put the goal up, I was in the concourse. I missed it. Yeah. I was going down the stairs. I didn't expect it to happen. We were late into injury time. I thought, no, I'm going home. You know. But Leicester did go on to win League One in the end. MK Dons chased us quite a bit. But Jack, the old way. Yeah, but yeah, they're the franchise.
Don't get drawn in, Jack. Don't get drawn in.
They're the franchise club, mate. That's what they are. Franchise. That's what everyone calls them. It's desperate to stick around for coffee and teas at Dan's. That's it, mate. That's it. I don't think Dan drinks coffee and tea, only water on previews. Foot in both camps, though, Dan. We'll start with Russell Martin. Considering it is the Russell Martin derby. MK Dons fans, some would say Russell Martin was okay there. Some would say probably not so much, but then obviously ended up going with Swansea. It was the early stages of his managing career. 2019, 2020, obviously the COVID season. 19th, they finished. 2020 to 2021, they finished 13th, so they finished 6 places higher. 81 games in charge, 28 wins, 18 draws, 35 losses in Russell Martin's time at Milton Keynes. Harvey Barnes went on loan to MK. I mean, that feels like forever ago, to be honest. We did sign Lloyd Dyer from Milton Keynes. Nigel Pearson were manager back then. The start of the League One season, Dan. Lloyd Dyer, quick as anything.
Yeah, he was. Loved Lloyd Dyer. Rapid.
He was rapid, wasn't he? He was absolutely rapid. Johnny Hayes is another one that played for both clubs. Stephen Hughes, another one, more of the older heads who remember Stephen Hughes, the midfielder for Leicester. Then we've got David Martin, who was a part of Leicester's League One winning team. I think we got him on loan from Liverpool. We need to sing that to them on Saturday. Well, I'm sure Leicester fans are being full voice Saturday. Dave Bassett. Interesting. Right, Dan, let me share my screen so we can go through the team. So we'll put our squad together now, and then we'll do the predictions for the game itself. Right, should we start? Right, who are we putting in goal?
Jakob.
Okay, we'll go with Jakob. I agree with that, actually. Right back. Jaden Joseph or Wayo Koulibaly?
JJ.
Okay. Jaden Joseph. There we are. Right. Centre back. See, I would personally put a Luco in there. And then I'm going to have to... How do I spell that guy's last name? It's Kang...
I have a sneaky suspicion.
Yeah.
And not many people are going to like it, but I think Aluko comes out, the new guy goes in, and Thomas alongside him.
Oh, so you think he'll go with Luke Thomas at...
Well, it's the second time he's put Luke Thomas at centre half.
Do you think that's because he had nobody else? Oh. Well, he didn't
Possibly.
know, did he? Yeah.
Possibly. But like I say, it's the second time he's done it. He's done it in pre-season.
Okay.
And he's done it Tuesday night. So I don't know whether he thinks he's seen something from Thomas. Well, we know, look, no matter what our thoughts about him are, is that, like at the back end of last season, when he's told to do just one job, he was all right. I'm not going to say he was outstanding. I'm not going to say he was good. He was all right. And with the limited options we've got at centre half, he's maturer. He's maturer than anything else that we've got there. My concern is playing two 19-year-olds at centre half.
Right.
In the league. Thomas is 25 now. And as I say, it's the second time he's done it now. So there must be a reason for it.
Is that better, Clibbo? I've moved it a bit more further forward. Dan, you can see it, can't you?
Yeah, I can see it fine.
Yeah. Frank said he likes that bag for. Surprised to see Woyo start on Tuesday. Thought he would want to stay fit to be sold. Maybe that's what it is, James, isn't it? That he, get his move at some point. I feel sorry for him, though, to be honest, Woyo Koulibaly, the way he's been treated and that. And I think after Ruud van Nistelrooy dropped him against Brentford, which I thought was uncalled for, to be fair, he showed that he actually cares. He's an aggressive player. That's what you need in this team. Someone who's going to kick the idiots, in it, kick the opposition, man. Let them know they're in for a game. That's what he wanted. The physical side. And Van Nistelrooy didn't like that. He thought we were soft as a sponge. You get what I mean? It's just like it's like a sponge with all the water in, and he's just like grabbing all of it and squeezing all the water out. So
he's saying he can't see that being the back four, not he can't see it.
Right. I didn't specify. The weather in Leicestershire tonight, it's a bit it's thunder and lightning and absolutely pissing it down. Unchanged from Ipswich, too soon for Kingasney Amy. Russell Martin, hello.
I don't think it will be. I think he'll be straight in.
Woyo was really composed versus Ipswich. I wouldn't be against Woyo starting against MK Dons at all. But I think Jaden Joseph would be back in there, to be fair. And then we sort of look at the midfield. Louis Page played as the number 6 on Tuesday night, but then he was swapping in with Sammy Braybrook. So I think them two will be more swappy.
I think you'll only get one of those, Jack.
Do you reckon?
Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, which one?
I would say that Braybrook may drop out, and he'll play Cullen and Chaplin.
Okay. I think Colin Chaplin start. I think if Sluter gets sold, Colin Chaplin be the captain for Leicester this season. That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
You're on your you're in your taxi on the way to Derby, mate. You're on the
treadmill doing a fitness test in Derby. Don't worry about it.
You're just
whatever you do, don't fall off it, because we know.
we don't want you coming back to Seagrave injured.
Although, I know we're mocking it and things like that now because it is time for him to go.
It is.
But at this moment in time, and how we got through the game in the end on Saturday, he would have been starting. He would have been playing instead of Page.
He's an old school tackler, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If I put, hold on, let me remove Braybrook a sec. I'll tell you what. If Page and Man United, that might be a thing. So
I don't think it is.
I don't know. Right, if we put Braybrook there.
You can do.
How about if we put Will Alves the number 10?
No, he'll play on the left.
Would you not start Tommy Watson and Harry Howe either side?
No.
So you think you'll go with Liam Cullen?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So are you going Howe or Wes Burns?
Hmm?
Would you go Howe or Wes Burns? I've got Harry Howe in personally.
No, I think he will play Wes Burns.
Okay. So if we had to pick our wingers, then who are we going for? Would you be happy with Alves and Howe?
Yeah, I wouldn't be averse to it. I think the issue with Howell is that he needs to get fitter and he needs to get stronger.
That's what that'll be only worry of him on Tuesday night. They make them bursting runs and they're a bit like knackered.
Yeah, that's another. That's why I don't think he'll be there yet. He won't be playing yet.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. If I take Liam Cullen out, I'll tell you what. I'll put Louis Page's number. I'll put Louis Page there. We'll swap him and Sammy Braybrook over. If I had to go with my team, I'd go Braybrook and Page after Tuesday night.
He ain't going to do that, Jack. There is not a million years.
It's just our preference.
Yeah.
It's just our preference. We don't have to go with what Russell Martin goes with, but I think that team looks better than what I think he will go with, because I've not been impressed with Liam Cullen. I don't think he really offers anything to the team, to be fair.
Well, again, it's quite early to say because he's playing in a side that we're not playing in a style that suits him either.
He'll come on second half, maybe. Howe and Watson by a mile. See, I think Tommy Watson was good on Tuesday night. I think he offers a lot. Would I drop Will Alves? It's a tough. See, I wouldn't be against either starting on either wing.
No.
That's the problem.
This is the bit that we are at with these lads out wide, is that he won't. You're not losing much, no matter which one you pick. You're not losing much by which one you pick, But
just like keeping him fit in it and getting his injury concerns a bit out of the way, because if he gets injured, we might have to.
He won't play this side in this game, Jack. He's far too young and inexperienced. Never in a million years is he going to pick that side. I wouldn't pick that side.
I know there's been fair few
of what players we've got and how exciting they all are and things like that. It's too short-lived.
I know a few of them have gone this type of team on social media when they put the predicted.
Yeah, that's fantasy football.
It's what we'd like rather than what Russell Martin's going to pick.
Well, it's not even that, Jack. It's people have just got a little bit overexcited about how it was on Tuesday, and I can guarantee it won't happen.
Right, I'll tell you what. If we take Braybrook Page out then and put what's his bloody name again? If we go with Russell Martin team, he'll probably take Watson out and put Alves in.
Well, again, it'd be a tough one. It's hard to say.
It is.
It's hard to say on that side, but I can guarantee he'll play Wes Burns. Because as well, he also wants the Burns and Chaplin link-up.
This is it, Clever. The beauty of having four wingers is that whoever can start can run themselves into the ground for 60 minutes. That's why I'm saying, like, the wingers is the hard choice. And after watching it on Tuesday and that, and seeing what... we're not putting bloody Bobby Reid up front again. Forget that.
No.
Like Alves, Howe, Watson, Wes Burns, it's difficult to pick because I thought Alves and Burns were quite steady against Burton, but then Harry Howe and Tommy Watson showed what they can do on Tuesday night against a reasonably good Ipswich side. I'd say they're a top end Ipswich side of the Championship sort of thing, but it shows the quality that we've got in the reinforcements that he's brought in, Dan.
Exactly that. Our bench now looks a lot stronger than what it did in the previous 2 games, and it gives us options off the bench, unlike it did in the previous 2 games. That if people are under a bit more pressure now to deliver, because if you're not, you're going to get replaced, and if you get replaced, you might not get your place back.
That was my sort of look at it.
I'm guessing you went with Bristol up top.
I would go Bristol up top, but then I think after Saturday we're going to need another striker to come in.
Well, we 100%. Yeah, we again, in an ideal world, we need 2. We need 2 more to come in through the door.
I'd play Alves in the middle and Watson out left. Well, Alves said his preferable position is left wing. It is, but he has played as a cam before, so he's versatile.
We're forcing things. Why? We don't need to force things. We've got more than enough players that can play in that role. That is their best position. Let's play the best players in their best positions.
Yeah. Right. Score prediction then. We're going for.
I'll always back us because you're stupid. Not even last season, as you well know, I was backing us all the way through, right up until after the Sheffield Wednesday game.
Oh, he's not the best team. We'll see that after the transfer window when the teams.
Yeah, exactly. Wait 1 second. No, he doesn't put square pegs in round holes. That's for sure. He doesn't do that.
No.
But is he 100% sure of his starting 11?
No,
I don't think he is by a million miles.
But
we do have players. Yeah, we do have players playing in their best positions.
Yeah,
but it's just who's the best ones in those positions.
2-1 to us. I think.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah,
we concede every game, man.
That's our problem. And again, and this is where, with that back 4, I don't see it because there's no maturity there. You're bringing a lad in at 19 who's not even played in the country before. It's possible. I know. I've not actually. He's not done a report yet, has he, to tell us who's fit and who's not?
It's mad, isn't it?
And this is why I think he'll take a chance and play Luke Thomas at centre half again.
Potentially, we'll see. So what are you going for, Dan, score-wise? What you got this week? Because every score we've seemed to have gone for, a high score-wise, we've seemed to have been let down a bit.
Well, 2-1 to us, but I think 2-1 to us, but it'll be tight. It'll be a tight game, that's for sure, which will be disappointing again. But we'll see. It is all going to come down
3-1 Leicester.
Dependent on who's
fit,
who he picks at the end of the day. As I say, yeah. For me, that defence is actually quite weak, which is a concern. Again, as I say, no matter what we think about some of the centre halves that we've got at the club, it will be the difference in what they can do with organising things and just having that level there. Yes, they might be letting us down on ability and attitude wise, but I think it's just quite risky in this stage of the season.
Right, tell you what, I've been going for threes in the past couple of weeks.
So that's.
I'm looking at my predictions here.
I've had a 3-0 and a 3-1.
I'll tell you what, I'll back you on the 2-1.
Yeah.
We'll go 2-1 each this week. We'll go for that one. I'll go 2-1. Bristol to score his first Leicester goal.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I think will happen. I think he will score for them. Ryan Wintle, he'll score for MK.
The one thing you can guarantee is, pretty much, is that it'll be somebody new scoring.
Yeah. Whatever positive result I'll take, like as long as it's,
Yeah. Because realistically, from what we've got left, all right, Jakob aside, because goalkeeper, and he can score, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
As I say, Luke Thomas will play, whether it's at left back or whether it's at centre half. But I can guarantee you he will play. But he's the only one left, pretty much now, of that old guard, which is a good thing. You know, that they're slowly drifting away, which is a good thing. So
100%. Leicester and clean sheets don't go together, Mike. You know
that's it. But also as well, just with this, I know we're leaving Suter out because we think, you know, from what we're under the understanding is that he's gone to Wrexham.
Yeah.
You know, that might be something that's announced tomorrow for them. If he's still at the club, he'll be playing because he's the captain.
Dan's gone 1-1. It's not an easy place to go. I mean, they'll be bouncing with like Notts County will with promotion and that. I mean, that'll still be in their energy regarding how they'll play. But then sometimes it will take a bit of time to like slow down. They'll sort of off a little bit. So, you know, promotion sort of bounce lasts a bit, probably a few games, but then you come to the realisation then where people know how you play and that, and that's where then Luke Thomas, now I'm all right, thank you very much. We'll cut that there.
He could do, Jack. He could do. If Chaplin's not 100% fit after Tuesday night,
yeah,
you know, he's just come back from injury. If he's not 100%, he's not going to be starting. Again, this is the problem where we're at with picking a side of that. We've got players who have just come back from injury who played Tuesday, and we've got people who were left out Tuesday who we think might be going. So we are a little bit up in the air. So it's a difficult thing to pick a Leicester side at the minute. As I say, we can say what we want and who we'd like to play, but realistically, depending on who's here, like I said, the one thing guarantees Luke Thomas is definitely here and he'll definitely be playing.
He'll be honest.
Where he's playing is a different matter. I say, I didn't think he was particularly bad at left centre half on Tuesday night, and I'd rather, if it means him playing, I'd rather it be that and McFarlane play at left back. And as I say, he does what he done at the back end of last season, where he was all right. He's got a job to do, which will be mark somebody, you know, not having to cross the halfway line, things like that, and he's got somebody rapid and strong beside him in McFarlane, who can get up and down and cause problems. You know, he's got an out. That's the thing for him. He's got a couple of easy passes out. So for Luke Thomas, and he'll be all right with that.
Right, that is it from us. And thanks for watching. 70 likes was set on this stream, by the way. So hit the like button, subscribe if you give us your comments on everything we've discussed in this stream. Also, go and check out the latest news. We discussed transfers and everything like that, the club deadline and everything in that video. We'll watch Max Gradle's goal one more time, and then we'll see you again soon.
2-1. It'll be Gradle. Right foot in, it's there! Max Gradle has salvaged the point for Leicester City in the 96th minute. Oh my goodness gracious me! That is a free kick right out of the top draw. Top corner, different class from Max Gradle.